Doing okay, Ron. How about you? I hope you're well. Getting ready for an afternoon ball game. Glad to see you. Just getting the lineup set here. First of a 2-game series, Montreal at San Francisco, September 1, 1969. Replay. And we're just hoping we don't lose our power. Great to see you. Oh, good for you, Ron. Let us know what you're doing there. Indeed. Greetings, everybody. Jeffrey Guterman, and I'm just putting the fielding ratings in. I'll give you the lineups in a little bit. Whoops. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the lineups for today's game, the first of a two-game series, September 1, 1969, between Montreal at Candlestick Park, facing the San Francisco Giants. Stoneman for Montreal, right-hander. Sadecki for the Giants. He's a southpaw, and we'll be back in just a few minutes with those lineups. Kathy Harden for the Giants. Indeed, Kathy Harden for the Giants. Oh. And it's great to have everybody here on the Strat-O-Matic Sports Network. I'm just taking some of my medicine. Oh, that is very good. It's very tasty. Oh, yeah. It's raining here at Studio B in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And we're going to have a nice leisurely ball game. Oh, indeed we are. Indeed. And I'm going to take tokes on the top of the hour, maybe on the top and bottom. We'll see. But I feel good now. This isn't my favorite strain, but at least it gets me buzzed. For the Montreal Expos, leading off and playing second base is Gary Sutherland. Batting second in right field, and I like him in the number 2 spot, Rusty Staub. Batting third in left is Bob Bailey. The cleanup hitter is Coco LeBoy. He plays third base. John Bateman will catch today. He's batting fifth. Ron Fairley, the first baseman, batting sixth. Jose Herrera in center field, batting seventh. Bobby Wine at short, batting eighth. And the pitcher, Bill Stoneman, batting ninth. He's got 8 wins. He's a right-hander. For the hometown San Francisco Giants, leading off at second base is Don Mason. Batting second in right field, Ken Henderson. Batting third in left field, Jim Ray Hart. Willie Mays still out with an injury. Batting cleanup at first base, Stretch McCovey. Batting fifth in center, Bobby Bonds. Batting sixth at third base, Jim Davenport, the veteran. Bob Barton doing the catching, batting seventh. Hal Lanier at shortstop, batting eighth. And the pitcher, left-hander with 3 wins, Ray Sadecki. And we are at Candlestick, and it's so nice to have you all for our mid-afternoon edition of Strat-O-Matic 1969 baseball. We've been doing this for about 3 years. And what a 3 years it has been. And the Giants take the field. Sadecki on the mound. Barton is catching him. It's McCovey at first, Mason at second, Davenport at third, Lanier at short, Hart in left, Bonds in center, and Henderson in right. McCovey has played almost all games of the season, unfortunately, and it's my tendency to have depression. I see he has 491 at-bats. Well, wait a minute. He had 121 walks, so that's 613 plate appearances. Maybe he won't be too injured here in September because they're going to need him in the home stretch. The Giants come into this, Sadecki taking his warm-ups, come into this 4 games out. The Pirates have already beat Atlanta. Giants were 4.5 out. And now they have a chance to make up what would be a full game here on September 1. They could be 3.5 out. That's a half game. But again, if we go back to that situation, and here's Gary Sutherland to lead it off. Sadecki is ready. Here's the windup and the pitch to Sutherland. 4-6 right-handed, and it's a base hit for Sutherland. A leadoff single to start the ball game. Sutherland is on. Here's Rusty Staub now. Sadecki from the stretch. That's 3-3 left-handed. Grounds it to short. Lanier to Mason to McCovey. It's a double play. So that's that. 2 outs, nobody on. And Bob Bailey is the batter. Staub grounds into the double. Okay, Bailey now, right-handed hitter. Here's Sadecki. 2-7 left-handed, grounds it to short. Lanier again. Over to stretch, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, the double play, none left. After a half, Montreal nothing, San Francisco coming up. Here's Bill Stoneman now, looking at the Expos defensively. Catching him is John Bateman. It's Fairley at first, Sutherland at second, Wine at short, LeBoy at third, and outfield left to right is Bailey, Herrera, and Rusty Staub out in right field. And here's Don Mason to lead it off. Stoneman is ready. And the pitch. That's 2-8 right-handed. Grounds it to short for Wine. And there's one away. Wine throws him out to Fairley. Now Ken Henderson is the batter. Anybody out there, we'd love to hear from you tonight in the live text. Here's Ken Henderson now, switch hitter, batting left. Here's Stoneman now. Yeah, it's a 1-6. And he pops it up to first, fairly. I'm so sorry. What am I thinking? Yes, fairly makes the catch. 2 outs. And here's Jim Rayhart. Mays is out. We expect him back soon. In fact, I'll let you know in the middle of this inning, after this inning, when we might expect the Say Hey Kid to come back. Here's 2 outs now. The pitch to Hart. That's 3-2. Right-handed, hit him. Oh, Hart. He's fine. So Hart goes to first. Isn't that stupid that they have plus injury? Our injuries are built into the replay, folks. There's a reason why Mays isn't playing. It's because he didn't play. We use real lineups, real data on each game, who played, where, when, but we deviate in rare occasions, and we also use the relievers who were used in real world as a guideline only. McGinn, Reed, and Shaw, they would be our first go-tos, but I don't want to use Face, the veteran, again. These 3 folks pitched last game. Bolin and Lindsay pitched on the 31st. Sadecki went all the way in this game. And since I brought it up, I don't always give this, but it was a 12-2 romp by the Giants. Mays is still out on September 2 and September 3. He's back on the 4th. He played the whole game. He went 1 for 4, knocked 2 runs in, played center. And he played on the 5th. Didn't play. He pinch hit in the 6th. So we'll let that go for a while. Here's Stoneman now. I'm sorry, Sadecki. Oh, I'm sorry, Stoneman, yeah, pitching Stretch McCovey. Hard on first, here's McCovey now. Stoneman. That's 3-9, and he walked him. That happens a lot with Stretch. He had 121, was it? 121 walks. Let me know if you're out there in the live chat, folks. Only because it's awful lonely here in Studio B. Awful lonely. So Stretch on first and Henderson on second for Bobby Bonds. First of a 2. Their game on the 2nd did not exist. Maybe they got rained out. Okay, here's Stoneman now. First and second, 2 down. The pitch to Bonds. 6-12, it's grounded back to Stoneman. He's a 2-6. Pretty good out there. It's a grounder, G3, E6. 14, E6, 14. And he throws him out, and the side is retired. A little dribbler by Bonds to Stoneman. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits. The hit by pitch and walk. Both left on. We've gone 1. It's scoreless ball game. I'll be back in a few. Indeed. Oh, indeed. Oh, Christ. We're going to storm watch here. Folks, I need to take a little break. I'm just not getting the Strat-O-Matic vibe right now. I hope you all understand. You're free to hang out with me, though. Yeah, it's a little windy. I heard about gusts, Kathy Arden. I heard about gusts. We're on a storm watch here, folks. And I'm going to post this on X with a little message in parentheses. And the post is up. And we are on a storm watch right here. Kathy Harden, what's with this guy's hair? Do you know? This guy right here with the hair, what's with that? Did you get a good look at this guy's hair here on the sides? It's all shaven and not even fully. Okay, I'm glad someone else saw it. I just wanted to know what kind of world is this? What kind of fucking absurdist. What kind of fucking shit. My God. What kind of world is this? Hey, we want to welcome you here to the Stormwatch. I think it's going to clear up here tomorrow. I think we'll get it heavy tonight. I don't know what the big deal is about all this. We're used to this here, flooding. The only thing that I am aversive to is the loss of electricity. And there's really only one reason for that. And it is because of the ability to do what I'm doing right now, and that's connect. Unfortunately, I don't feel pretty connected on X anymore. I used to run spaces. They're not very well attended anymore. And I just got... sort of left behind on that. But a great community here, a great Strat-O-Matic community. And we have our Swedish meatballs heating up in the oven.
this idea that if you're not Muslim, you cannot stay here. No. This is country, this is land. This does not have to do with your religion. Has to do with what you earn and what you gain.
These are, this is a space
What is your religion? Your religion is
called Zionism Equals Cancerous Tumor. Cancerous tumor upon the world. Zionism is a cancerous tumor upon the world. So you'll hear some anti-Semitism. Fair warning, it's for educational purposes. I'm Jewish.
Non-Muslim cannot, for example, have land, or non-Muslim cannot have Egyptian citizenship, or non-Muslim cannot live in Egypt.
No, I don't get NFL Network. I didn't know there were games today.
You cannot say Egypt is not an Islam country. You cannot say that. It doesn't mean it doesn't read in the constitution.
The constitution of Egypt says that we are Islamic country.
It doesn't mean it because the constitution in America, for example, they avoid, they say free worship of any religion, right? But you cannot say America is not a Christian country.
No, it's not a Christian country as well.
It is a Christian country.
America is a country with a Christian majority. Simple. Egypt is a country with Muslim majority. Okay, but
I don't get NFL Network. You got to pay extra for that, don't you?
Egypt is a country with Jewish majority.
No, it's a Jewish state. That's what they say.
That's
Please go
like
ahead, Jonathan. Please go ahead,
Well,
Jonathan.
all I'm pointing out is that
Explain on
Israel is in control of Palestine from the river to the sea, and Jews are a definite, Zionist colonial settlers are a definite minority within that region. The native Palestinians are the majority, and they are a younger population than the colonial settlers. In 30 years, they will be an even larger majority. The system whereby Palestinians are not allowed citizenship after 58 years of occupation is exactly analogous to the Bajistans of South Africa, which was considered and is considered illegitimate. Palestinians are the majority of the territory under control of the Zionist government. That's it. It's, I get this statistics from the CBS, Central Bureau of Statistics.
But see, this is the great point that Johnson actually made, and you said it, Maymun. Like you said, Egypt is a Muslim country. Fine, you can say that, but Egypt is a majority Muslim country because the population there is a majority Muslim population. Doesn't mean that Egypt.
You pay extra for that, Kathy Gordon?
Majority of Muslim
The NFL Network?
that are around, some that are not.
Same in Israel, the
No. Let me stop you here before you go there. Israel or Palestine was not a Jewish majority. What happened is that you eradicated people, you did the Nakba, you kicked people out, and you put in Jewish people, and you said, oh, this is a Jewish majority now, so now we have our country, and this is a Jewish country. This is a made-up colonial concept. It's not it doesn't make you a Jewish majority right now. If the people that are actually living in this land come back, it's not gonna be a Jewish majority. It's gonna be another country that has people in there. If you want to do that.
Okay, I understand. Fine, thank you. You know, before I leave, I will say something in Arabic. أحسن. إذا كان بدك أرضك حرب. عايز أرضك حرب.
See, this is the thing. Like you're saying, if you want your land, come and fight. But this is the thing. So you are conquering it, and you are telling people, come fight us for the.
Do you want your land back? Do you want your land back? Fight for it. I admire Hamas.
We are doing, and we are kicking your asses.
يلا طيب.
מימון, אתה מולכלכים, ממזרים גדול בן זונה, אתה שומע? יור ממזרים, יור בן זונה. שיט.
أحكي عربي أحسن.
שקט, מולכלכים.
Hey guys, can I jump in? I just see I got a mic here. I'm on the desktop.
يا زكاة بدك الأرضك حرب يلا تفضل أهلا وسهلا.
A war is not
Okay.
necessary.
Just let me know when I can jump in here, okay?
To cease to finance and commerce with Israel. And it will dissolve in 4 fiscal quarters. Very soon.
يلا
It will happen.
تصبح على خير. أنا راعي اسمه كلثوم وفريد.
I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you for just showing us exactly what you guys are. Thank you.
Let me know when I can come in. It's Jeffrey Guterman here.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Some of you may know me. I'm Jewish, but I am not a Zionist. So I understand you're saying Zionism is a cancerous tumor upon the world. I just wish to clarify, you're not saying Jewish people are cancerous tumors, nor I would like to suggest you're not saying Zionists. Let's focus on the...
I was very specific.
Oh, yes.
My word.
Oh, very good.
Zionism.
Very good. Because if you stay away from personifying, labeling, we're going to do a lot better. People are going to probably hear you better.
Okay, Dr. Jeff, actually...
Last question I have here, last question, just to throw it out. How does this all end? How does this end?
Dr. Jeff, just one comment. Jonathan here is a Jew, actually. So you can ask him. We never went
I'm probably
like
more
against
hostile
Jew
to
ever.
Zionism than Dr. Jeffries is. So I actually consider a Zionist more or less congruent in his thinking to a Nazi. So
I'm on mute right now.
Because thinking that way is dangerous. Whether you think in terms of Nazi and Jew,
Wow.
or Zionist and Palestinian, the ideologies are pretty much congruent. So I do think a Zionist is a problem, and people have to get over Zionism. It's like a disease, like Nazism is a mental disease. People have to get over it.
Yeah.
How does that fly, Dr. Jeffrey?
No, it's very good, and I've heard you before, Jonathan. By all means, you have expertise on Zionism. I don't. Again...
But you know what, Dr. Jeffrey, please, 1 second. I really appreciate, actually, honestly, because it wasn't brought up, so I appreciate you bringing up that distinction and noticing why I put ism rather than ist, as you're saying. So I appreciate you, shedding light on that for everybody, that this is an ideology that we are fighting against, not any specific person.
Just as Nazism was an ideology.
Exactly.
And the problem is that Nazis tried to confuse being German with being a Nazi. Actually, they used more or less the same language that Zionists use today. It's almost disturbing when you read these documents and you see how Nazis thought and how similar it was to Zionism. And Victor Klemperer,
see how easily I can get onto these conversations here.
He was Jewish, but he was married to Marian, and therefore
I do better when I attend spaces rather than starting my own. I don't have the concentration or the patience to run them anymore.
And they were basically correct. Zionism was cool.
I'm muted right now.
Nazism respected the young virile to be a soldier. So did Zionism, because they intended to take over Palestine. The people who were poor didn't have money.
Wow, so Kathy, you have that as part of your package. That's some nice package you got there.
To the settlement in Palestine, because the Zionist settlement didn't want them. It's called cruel Zionism. If you weren't going to be helpful in conquering and dispossessing Palestinians and stealing the country and committing genocide, you weren't wanted. In fact, they made it hard for you to leave anywhere if you weren't desirable in Palestine. I think the logic was, and this is an extrapolation, that those Jews who weren't worth bringing to Palestine, well, if the Nazis killed them, that was great for PR to justify Zionism. And that seems to be the meaning of some of Ben-Gurion's statements. When he talked about whether Jews should go to England or to Palestine. It's an extremely bad, nasty ideology. And in truth, we see it in the directors, the slaughter people, rather than let them be captured. As we saw October 7th. They preferred I mean, look, they made a lot of propaganda out of all the Zionist colonial settlers that were slaughtered by the IDF. It would have been much less effective propaganda if they had survived. They wouldn't have been able to kill Hamas of murdering them. Makes sense if you think about it. They did it. It was a pretty good PR job and fairly effective. So I'm sorry, I'm hogging you again.
No, you're educating, and it's just Jewish people tend to have a knee-jerk reaction to any discussion and devote themselves blindly to the philosophy, the Zionistic philosophy. That's what I think happens to many of them.
Well, we've been trained. If you go to, I don't know how old you are. I'm a little bit too old to have gone to a completely Zionist Hebrew school, but I think that 10 years after I was a kid, it was hard to escape Zionist indoctrination because the Zionist state made books available for almost nothing. It was a lot cheaper for a Hebrew day school to accept Israeli books than to go off and buy less biased books. It's very clever, actually.
Well, it's interesting that you say that. I just want to add one thing, folks. I was born Jewish. My parents were Jewish. My parents were agnostic Jews. They didn't impose the belief of God on me as a child, although they did take me to temple to get bar mitzvahed, and we went through the holidays like Passover, which I liked. It was a nice dinner. But when you reflect back on it, even I was indoctrinated to an extent where I didn't really give it much thought until I got older. And Jonathan, I'm 65 years old.
I'm older than you.
Wow. How old are you?
I'm in the early 70s. Not much older.
Good for you. You from New York?
Originally.
Okay, me too, the island, Roslyn, most of the time. Well, it's great to and it doesn't mean we don't accept Judaism, even though I'm agnostic, and we accept someone like me. We can go into the temple, and if it's a friend's wedding or something, or a bar mitzvah, even though I haven't been invited to a bar mitzvah in over 20 years. But it's great to speak to you folks.
So what do you think L'Shana Aba'ah Yerushalayim means?
You know what? I don't know what that means.
You say it in Passover, though it's not originally.
Why is this day different? Why is this day different than every other day?
No, that's Ma Nishtana.
Okay.
This is for next year. For next year coming in Jerusalem. So Zionists will tell you that means we're going to return and take the state back, or take the country back. But it's not really. Actually, it comes from the Ni'ela, which is the closing of the Yom Kippur service, and was later added to the Seder for various reasons. And the reason that it was part of the Ni'ela is that the Yom Kippur was an atonement for the whole community.
I'm muted now. I'm going to go out of here, and I'm going to come back on my phone. I'm done with this. I don't want to drag you all along. If you're interested in following my activities, follow me on X, formerly Twitter, and I'll post a tweet about it. And Kathy Harden, thank you so much. I didn't know there were games on Saturday. NFL games? Okay.
In order to participate in the atonement service for the whole assembly of Israel, then to go back home. There is no concept of return in Judaism. The vast majority of the people that practiced Judaism in ancient times did not live in Judea. Most lived in Babylon, and then more people lived in the Western Roman Empire.
Hey, Ron, you take care, and Kathy, you take care.
And they were all descendants of non-Judeans.